take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
It's time!
It's Sunday, March 14th, 2021. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Tabor Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 65, Edwards versus Muhammad recap. After that, we jump into some MMA news, and then we talk about the Brunson versus Holland preview. But before we do all that, Tabor, where do we begin?
With our social media accounts, Mason, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at the Church of MMA. Oh, and Gab as well, guys. So go check that out for free speech lovers. We're posting funny memes, guys. We're fucking trying to make you laugh. We're live tweeting the fights.
Yeah.
So hit us up.
Check out our YouTube channel too, guys. We're up to 441 subscribers. And if you guys want some church merch like this shirt I got here, and look at that. That's pretty cool, huh? You can find that link in the description below.
Oh my goodness, Mason. What a controversial night, my guy.
What a crazy fight night. and not just one no contest, but we had two no contests on this card.
Yeah. And I can't wait to get into both of them for different reasons.
Right.
Let's start at the top. Main event of the evening, Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad. His nickname was not Remember the Name for the night. It was Main Event Muhammad.
Ooh, okay.
Main event
Switching
Muhammad.
it up.
I was loving it. I was loving it. And, you know, before we get into the controversy, the eye pokes and all that, let's just talk a little bit about the fight. Belal Muhammad, I mean, in the first, minute of that first round, he was charging Leon down, and then Leon started really unloading, getting comfortable in there, started piecing Belal up, really, I would say. I say without a doubt Leon Edwards won that first, correct?
Oh, unquestionably, yeah.
Yes.
I don't think Belal was marching him down, man.
He was pressuring him. He wasn't landing shots. Like, he wasn't exchanging, but he was most definitely pressuring Leon, which I really liked. I was about to text you in this first round, right when the fight started. I am loving what I'm seeing from Muhammad, because he was pressuring the man, getting Leon to go backwards.
I don't know, man. I thought Leon Edwards. I know you're not a fan of Leon Edwards. You've made
No.
that very
This
clear.
was the first. Let me be specific. This was the first 1 minute of the first round.
Oh, okay. The first
After
minute,
that, things completely changed.
Right, because Leon Edwards looked really good. His combinations looked good. He almost ended the fight. He almost had a fight-ending sequence. I mean, I thought he looked great in that first round.
Yeah, he looked good. Dude, that head kick was nice.
But you know what? Credit to Belal Muhammad, because, that head kick would have knocked
anybody out, right?
But Belal kind of just walked. I mean, he was wobbling. His legs were there, or weren't there. But
and recovered really nice. And then they exchanged in the clinch, and Belal looked extremely strong in the clinch, dude. He's instantly reversed that position, got Leon up against the fence. Didn't last the longest.
No.
But I was impressed with that, especially after just getting rocked by a massive head kick. Yeah. Okay, second round. Leon was looking good again. Was it the first round? Was the first eye poke? It was the first round, I believe.
Yeah,
I think
it would have had to have been.
It was the first round, and I remember texting you, like, why didn't they give Belal 5 minutes? You know, usually you get 5 minutes. It didn't even ask Herb Dean, like, no offense to Herb Dean, we'll get into him later, but he didn't even ask Belal if he was ready. He kind of just went, okay, start fighting.
Well, I think because Belal was initiating, like, hey, I'm ready, let's go.
Body language?
Yeah, his body language, his eye wasn't fluttering or blinking a bunch. So I figured that he looked at him and said, okay, this guy wants to fight. He obviously doesn't want his 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that one was all that big a deal, honestly. But that second eye poke,
well, rough. I think the first one on camera, like, if you look at it, it probably looks worse because it actually went deeper. But it was the second one that did the damage, right? That second glancing one, dude, it went inside of his eye socket. I don't know if you guys have seen that picture. If you haven't, go look it up, guys. There is a close-up of that picture. His finger went inside the eye socket, and it looked like his nail must have scratched right across the eyeball itself.
Oh, absolutely. He definitely has a scratched cornea. No doubt about that. But as Bisping was saying on the broadcast, he did not believe it was going to be a detached retina or anything like that. So... And I think from what Leon Edwards was posting, I mean, obviously it hurts and his eye is swollen, but I think he's going to be okay. I don't think there's any long-term damage.
Well, Belal has already given us an update. He said there was no permanent damage to the eye. He says he's already getting vision back, but it's, fuck, dude, that's a scary situation. That's every fighter's worst nightmare. No one wants to go blind. Well, Bisping went blind. What's his face? Not Jeremy Stevens. Nick Lentz just retired a few weeks ago because he went partially blind in an eye. It's a scary game.
Well, let's talk about the reaction from Bilal Muhammad. I mean,
dude.
the way he was acting, I understand there was so much emotion for this man. This was his first main event. Years ago, he thought he deserved this position. He finally was able to be put in an opportunity to capitalize on a main event, on a pretty big fight night, I would say, against number 3 in the world. Yeah. And, to get eye poked like that, his emotions were wild. And that, as a fan, is what was really scary for me. Because watching that, I couldn't tell. There were times where I could tell, but there were some times where I was like, oh my God, did I just literally watch a man lose his eye?
Well, some people thought his eye was going to be out of his socket.
Well, that's what I thought. And I said, or is it him, understanding the severity of what's going on, knowing that he cannot continue this fight and letting his emotions take the best of him?
Well, he really started crying the second he tried opening the eye the first time, and you could tell he was blind.
And that's the thing.
He didn't see anything.
And I didn't know what he was crying about. I didn't know if it was he's blind or if, first main event and it ends in a no contest. But I think it was kind of a combination of both.
Absolutely.
I think if you can't see out of your eye, you think, oh shit, did I just lose sight of my eye forever? Yeah. I've had people that I know get LASIK and they say, the first 4 or 5 seconds you open your eyes, you can't see anything. And the doctors will tell you that, but they say it's the scariest 4 or 5 seconds of your life. I mean, imagine being Bilal Muhammad, getting your eye poked like that, and not knowing if you'll ever see out of that eye again.
Dude, think about it. Every 2 months, I would say, I listen to the Bisping podcast religiously, by the way. Every 2 months, Bisping has to go, hey man, let's take a 15-minute break. My good eye is fucking with me.
Right.
He's terrified of going blind, and that's a real fucking thing. He might, there's probably a good chance he loses full eyesight. 100%.
Oh, that's so...
Isn't that scary? Because he's already detached. He only has one eye, by the way, guys. Like, he literally has one fucking eye. And that eye is going out. It's scary, dude. It's a scary reality of the sport. I mean, you cannot take trauma to these vital organs like that.
No.
You just can't. But it's part of the game, really.
So it is part of the game. And then, you kind of ask the solution. I mean, what is there? Can the UFC do a better job of getting gloves? Because I know Trevor Whitman. I watched that podcast with Trevor Whitman and Justin Gaethje, and don't quote me. I want to say it was about a year and a half ago, roughly. They're on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he's talking about these gloves he invented.
Yes.
And he's going over it step by step and how naturally you can't keep your hand up like that.
It curves your fingers
naturally.
Like the Pride gloves.
Exactly.
Back in the day. And that's all everyone's talking about right now is we need new gloves. We need new gloves. We need new gloves. But at the same time, it's like, I agree, we do need new gloves. But at the same time, you're in control of your own weapons. Just don't poke people in the eyes, guys.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you. But you're in control of your own weapons. Like, I don't know what else to say. It sucks.
I'll ask you this. Are you in control of yourself when you see a giant cougar in the middle of the street and you don't know what to do and you freak and you flinch, right? Like
if I trained every single day to fight a cougar, yes.
But no, you wouldn't. You would still
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you're training to do this. So.
No, I totally disagree because, like, you can't override instincts, right? Like, you're always... So, naturally, your reaction, if someone comes in, might be to push. And I understand your point. They are professionals. They should be a lot better than most. But what I'm saying is, in this sport, it will never be perfect.
Yeah.
It's just there's too many variables in this sport. Way too many variables. And, like, if a guy's coming in... And that eye poke was... clearly not intentional. This was not a deliberate knee to to a downed opponent. This was a completely unintentional eye poke that you could tell irritated Leon Edwards too at the fact that it even happened. I mean, this was such a huge fight for him, and to have it end it was a huge fight for Bilal as well, but to have it end this way, like, it's just so unsatisfactory.
Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. But I mean, if he would have poked him in the eye 6 times, would we still be saying it's unintentional? I mean, maybe. DC poked Stipe in the eye, I think, like 6 or 7 times in that trilogy, and fucking... I mean, eventually we have to do something. I say do the gloves. It's the easiest work. It's the easiest thing.
Yeah.
The fact that we are using equipment that we started off with, 12 years ago? Was the first time we started using those? Not even. Maybe longer. Maybe like 15, 18 years, something like that. We haven't changed. Nothing has changed. And that's one of my biggest frustrations with this sport. Like, dude, you know how many eye socket injuries we would be avoiding? How many eye pokes we would be avoiding? Think about how many times you see people getting ruptured eye sockets, ruptured faces. Safe Northcutt had to get face surgery because his entire face got fucking rearranged. His skull almost caved in. Like, these gloves, and I'm glad you brought them up. Trevor Whitman's gloves, he was dropping bowling balls on them, and it was killing the impact.
Yeah.
You take a bowling ball, you drop it on the UFC gloves, it bounces a foot in the air. It's crazy that we aren't evolving in these ways.
Well, and for all the great things that the UFC has accomplished and all the evolution of the sport in the last 25 years, why are we so far behind with these gloves?
It's weird.
Is it a patent problem? Do they not want to pay the big bucks to get these things better? That's for me the confusion.
When Trevor Whitman was on Joe Rogan, he said that Dana loves them. Dana wants the gloves.
Yep.
He wants them to be the official UFC gloves. But then everyone at the UFC, all the shareholders, the top brass, the people in these boardrooms meetings are going, we have to own the glove. You have to give us the patent. We have to own the gloves. Trevor Whitman, this is not your glove. And then Trevor Whitman goes, fuck you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as he should. I mean, he has principles. Like, it's his glove. It's his invention.
It's his design.
His
patent,
evolution. Yeah. He shouldn't have to sell the rights to the glove. Like, that's ridiculous.
And now, because of this strictly, I would say, business decision, I mean, it's not a safety decision. I'll tell you fucking that. It's definitely not a safety. It's a business decision. Because of this, now we're putting literally people's eyesight in jeopardy.
Right.
I don't like that at all. It really bugs me.
Yeah.
It really bugs me. And then I have to ask you this. Should Leon Edwards have been disqualified?
No.
I disagree.
And I know you disagree, so I'll let you pitch your side of the argument first.
I see no difference in an unintentional eye poke than an unintentional knee to the head. I think the Eric Anders fight, we'll get into that later, I think that should have been a DQ. Hardy got DQ'd for the exact same thing, unintentional knee. Just last week, Jan got DQ'd for the exact same thing. Unintentional knee? I mean, I guess the big difference is between that is the referee literally walked up to Jan and said, hey, he is a grounded opponent. And then he threw the knee still. Language barrier, I know. But it doesn't make sense. I feel like there's no consistency. And that's the one thing that I really want is I want a consistency. And we're not getting that. And why is it up to the ref? It's 100% up to the ref to whether it's a DQ or a no contest.
Okay, so that's a lot of questions wrapped into one. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to start this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot. It is a lot. And it's a weird thing. It really
again,
is.
This sport, there are so many variables in the sport. Okay. Yeah. So like when you look at the Leon Edwards eye poke, you could clearly tell that was unintentional.
Same with the Eric Anders knee.
Okay.
Right? I would say that's unintentional.
Right.
Same with the Jan knee. I would say that was unintentional. But
there are differences with officiating, and this is why this is up to the ref. Because if a referee tells a fighter, your opponent is ground, do not throw a knee, and then you throw a knee, even if that was considered quote unquote unintentional, you still broke the rule, which the ref had already told you that your opponent was grounded. In this scenario, when there's a scramble and an eye gets poked and it's unintentional, someone should not get DQ'd for that because that is clearly not the intention of what you're trying to do, and there's no warning or anything. Now, if Herb was the one reffing the Leon Edwards fight, if he had stepped in the first time in the eye poke and it was a severe eye poke the first time and then the second time, I think that is grounds for a DQ, absolutely. But in this scenario, the first eye poke was literally nothing. Like Bilal was fine right away.
I mean, a knuckle deep isn't nothing, my guy. I mean, I'm not trying to disagree with you. Bilal did recover right away, but a knuckle deep, like he did get warned. He did get warned, and then he fouled again. Illegal strike, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And I guess
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I guess you do make a case, but again, like you have to look at the intentional. Like it, there was no warning from the ref. There was no nothing. I mean, yeah, I guess in the first round, but that happens in the sport all the time. I mean, what are we going to do? DQ guys?
I don't like that it's up to the ref. I think it needs to be up to more than just one person, in my opinion. I say maybe bring the judges or somebody. I don't know how. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to come up with a good solution. You know, I mean,
right.
The rules are still evolving to this fucking very day, so it might change. You never know. I just wish there was more people because I hate to say it, like refs have biases. I mean, fucking Greg Hardy got no warning. He fucking kneed a guy in the head while he had one knee down, just like Jan did, just like Anders did. And the freaking Dan Murgliata was sitting there talking about how Greg Hardy is the biggest piece of shit in the world for throwing that strike and DQ'd him instantly.
Yeah.
There was no warning beforehand. He had no talk about this beforehand. It's just up to the ref. And, you know, if the ref don't like you, he's going to DQ you. So it's a weird situation, I guess.
So how do we fix this?
I don't know. That's the biggest problem. Is I could sit here and complain about all the problems, but if fucking with no solution, it's like, what do we do?
Right.
Now we're just sitting here complaining into a microphone, you know? It's interesting.
It is interesting. I mean, yeah, it's just, it sucks. Like if we were to get the gloves that Trevor Whitman had,
this wouldn't be on the table.
No, it would solve a lot of problems.
Absolutely.
But again, that's not a road that the UFC is obviously going to go down because they want to own it. They want to make $1 billion off of it, yada, 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 corporate greed. We get it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just like any other fucking company in this country. So, so now the question remains, like, what is the other solution? What is next? I mean, do we make it super strict where if there is a fight ending sequence that is unintentional or not, do we start DQing every single time? Because that could get really tricky.
Yeah.
Someone gets their eye poked. They're like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm going to win by disqualification. That's going to help me. I fought around, you know. What if a guy's losing and he just barely gets his eye poked, you know, in like a scramble or something. And he's like, oh, and he starts faking it because he knows he's going to win by DQ.
I mean, fucking, that's a real problem that we have today.
Yeah.
That's a real problem, and it happens.
I don't know how to fix that problem. Yeah. I do actually hear your point. You actually made a really good argument on consistency. Mm-hmm. You know, the examples you used, you're very right. Like the Greg Hardy, he didn't get any warning or anything like that. And they DQ'd him. They called him a disgrace, a piece of shit.
Everyone in the world was talking shit on that man for that.
Absolutely.
Like, and I get it. Like he has the crazy past and all that, but it's like he was a fucking rookie. Like he had been training 2 years and he fucked up. That's all he did. He fucked up and it cost him, and it should have. But like I'm saying, you're right. Consistency. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. And honestly, man, I agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. That sucks. I feel bad for Bilal.
We didn't come up with a solution, but we can complain about it.
It happens, you know. And there's so much to talk about. Let's move on.
Let's talk about their future real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's going to happen here. Because, you know, Leon Edwards in the post-fight was talking about how he wants the title shot.
Yeah.
And I believe he even apologized. He's like, sorry, Bilal. But
he did, yeah. In person.
I need the next title shot. But, you know, it really does suck for Leon Edwards because it's like the guy is not wrong. But under these circumstances, it's a hard argument to make. And I think that's where I'm at. He's not wrong, but under these circumstances, it's a really hard point to make, man.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So what is next? Does Leon Edwards take on Bilal Muhammad in a rematch in 4 to 6 weeks from now? Or do we just move on from this fight?
To be honest, I think you have to move on from the fight, and I hate to say that because I am a huge Bilal Muhammad fan, and I think he does deserve the rematch, but the chances of Leon signing that fucking contract is slim, I would say. I don't think Leon Edwards gets the title shot. Unfortunately, you're right, he deserves it. And it's hard to say that because in this sport, no one deserves anything. Mm-hmm. I've learned that the hard way. You know, I mean, how many people have deserved title shots and not gotten them?
A lot.
Way too many.
I mean, you can literally look in all technicality from a purist standpoint. Glover Teixeira deserved the title shot over
Tony Ferguson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Aljamain Sterling.
There's a ton, for a very long time, Aljo. So,
yeah, it's just
it happens.
No one deserves anything in this rough sport.
You could almost make a case for Robert Whittaker again, too. Mm-hmm. He almost doesn't have to fight Paulo again. Yeah. But he's going to. So.
Yep. Savage.
Nothing is guaranteed in this sport, that's for sure.
On to Leon Edwards. I don't think he signs the contract with Bilal. Bilal is calling for that rematch. He already came out and said, you know, Leon's being soft. Like, dude, you can't just walk away like that. You're not getting a title shot like that.
No, he's definitely not.
He says, run it back, dude. I fucking showed up. I fucking showed up in 3 weeks' notice. I was there to fight. I was just getting started. Let's run it back.
Mm-hmm. And he makes a good point, and I totally understand where Bilal Muhammad is coming from. Mm-hmm. Dude, if this was your first main event ever, and it ends like this, you want that back. You want that back. I don't care if you're getting your ass kicked for the first round, which he wasn't getting his ass kicked. He was getting beat, but he definitely wasn't getting his ass kicked. So it's like, you want that back. You want to have a full fight, and he deserves that full fight. But the shitty thing that is the reality of this sport is we're probably not going to get this fight.
Yeah, so it takes two sides as tango, and any side could just go no.
So who do we give Bilal? Remember the name Muhammad? Leon Edwards was number 3, mm-hmm. So we got to give him a 6 or a 7. So and Tyron Woodley's already matched up. Michael Chiesa was on the post fight table. That might not be a bad fight.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I mean, we just say it every fucking time we talk about this division, we're like, that guy's not going to fight that guy because he's not fucking high enough rank.
I know. I really feel like this is This is one of my favorite divisions, but it's one of the most frustrating divisions in this sport or in this organization because they just don't want to fight each other. And like, it takes so much to match these guys up. And I'm like, what are we fucking doing here? We're talking about number 6 and number 13 and we can't get a matchup because we don't think that's going to happen.
Yep.
Like,
it's wild. The Bilal Muhammad fight's way harder to make. I say you do the winner of the Tyron Woodley-Vicente Luque because they're going to sign that contract. They're going to sign that contract. Yeah. No one above them probably is, unfortunately. Nope. Stephen Wonderboy already wants a title shot. Leon, he's not getting a title shot. He's not. Usman's going to fight George.
Yeah.
Leon Edwards, Gilbert Burns, or Colby Covington. It's the only fights to make. Number one contender fight.
I have a question for you. Do you think, and don't get me wrong, I've talked a lot of praise about Kamaru Usman, but I'm just curious to get your take on this, okay? Because I do wonder at times. What is it about Leon Edwards that whenever he gets brought up with Kamaru or anything like that, like that's not even a discussion. That has never even been a discussion for a title shot. He's won 8 fights in a row.
It's because it's his worst matchup.
I know, but don't you think as like a president, like Dana, would want that matchup? Because that would be such a fun and intriguing fight.
If I'm Dana, I want the Gilbert Burns. I mean, not a Gilbert Burns. I want the Usman Masvidal fight. It's most money.
I know.
That's way that I'm looking at dollar signs the entire time. You know, it's Dana White.
I know. It's just like fuck. It's so annoying. It's so annoying because it's like I don't want to see that fight again. Everyone knows how that fight's going to take place.
Yep.
I just feel like it's kind of a. I hate to be this negative about it because I'm going to watch it, but I almost feel like it's a waste of time because we all already know who's going to win.
I absolutely 100% echo.
Like this is one of the most for sure fights that I'm just like, okay, like I'll watch it for as long as it lasts, but I know who's going to win. So it's like, there's no thrill as a fan being like, you know, when we see like a massive fight, we're like, God damn, we don't know who's going to win this fight. Like this is a pick 'em fight. That fight, you're just like, okay, Kamaru Usman. I'm going to literally put everything I have in church coin on Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to lose that fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless, I mean, look at it. If he decided to stand with Jorge Masvidal, then it makes it way more interesting because he did just knock out Gilbert Burns, who everyone thought there was no way Usman was going to stand with the man.
Right.
So his striking's improving. He's with the best coach in MMA, I would say, with Trevor Whitman right now. So you never really know, but I agree. 100% echo that sentiment. I'm not interested in that fight.
No, I'm just not.
Yeah, let's move on. We already spent 20 minutes on this main event.
Wild.
So no contest, so no church coin bets.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But we don't lose them, don't gain them. It's like a push in poker.
Co-main event, Misha Cirkunov, my bad, and Ryan Spann. I'm going to probably run through these ones pretty quick.
Yeah, we'll run through them fast.
Yeah, Misha Cirkunov, Ryan Spann, it was quick. Ryan Spann just came out and fucking was really aggressive.
Yeah, super aggressive.
Really aggressive, and that's kind of almost what he needed to be because he's trying to point fight with some of these guys, and he's losing those fights.
Yep.
So when he goes out there and just goes for the knockout, I mean, he finds success. You can't do that with all of these guys.
No.
You really can't, but he did impress me, and when he got the knockdown, he went down for some ground and pound, realized he was going nowhere, let the man get back up, and totally dominated from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So picks, 100 church coin on Cirkunov, lost it.
Yeah, I put 270 on Cirkunov as well and lost that. You know, I really just thought he was going to come out, try to take Ryan Spann down and just beat the shit out of him on the ground. It really didn't happen. I mean, Ryan Spann looked good. You know, something really awesome about Ryan, too, is right after that fight, he goes, but people better quit sleeping on my name. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's
fired
right.
Up.
Yeah, because, I mean, we both picked Cirkunov. We really thought he was going to win. And then Ryan Spann puts out a very, very impressive minute and 11 seconds, man. I thought he looked really good. He looked crisp. He looked clean. His shots were good. Takedown defense was there. So
Misha Cirkunov's no joke.
No.
Either. He is a legit world-class fighter, and he's gone he's gone rounds with top 5 guys.
Yep.
And won some of those rounds and was very successful. So it's a big win for Ryan Spann. I can't wait for his future.
Let's get to this fight, Tabor. One of your favorite fighters of all time.
I can't wait. My man, Dan 50K Ige, signing that fucking check again. Or I guess he's not signing checks.
He ain't
Dana's signing checks, you know. He made the endorsement on the back. But Dan Ige with the one-punch KO over Gavin Tucker. And this Gavin Tucker guy is no fucking slouch, dude.
No, dude.
No fucking slouch. And for one punch, it was insane. Insane. You don't see that at featherweight.
No, you don't.
Have you ever seen a one-punch KO at featherweight?
That kind of power? No, not like that.
Not in a long time.
Not like that. And it landed so clean. Too.
Perfectly because I would say almost no one in that division has one-punch knockout power unless it's perfectly timed and on the perfect button.
Yeah.
And it was.
And it
Everything
definitely
worked
was.
out perfectly for the man, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
You
for
know,
the guy.
you do got to feel for some of these fighters though, like Gavin Tucker, where they put in an 8-week training camp, they cut weight, which is excruciating.
Just to get
the
smoked.
mental preparedness that goes into this, and the mental toughness, the physical toughness, everything that goes into this. And your night is over in under 25 seconds.
So crazy.
And then you got to go home.
So crazy.
And you're a
That's
good fighter
so
too.
crazy.
It's not like you're a bad fighter. It's not like you don't deserve to be there. You just got caught. That's got to be. That's really tough, man. And we got to give. We got to
So
give.
demoralizing,
It
right?
is. We got to give more credit to these fighters because they are so much mentally stronger than any of us could ever fathom.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we go through something like that, it's traumatic, we're depressed, or this or that. These guys shake it off. They get back out there in another 4 to 6 months. It's insane. Sometimes a lot faster. So,
Bro, I missed my TV show. I'm fucking depressed for a week.
yeah, exactly.
I can only imagine what this guy's like.
Yeah, I mean, he put his whole life on the line out there in a flat line in 20 seconds.
He's just eating fucking cheeseburgers, just depressed as shit. I feel bad for the guy. I really do.
So do I. Whenever I see a knockout that fast, like Jose Aldo against Connor, I felt so bad for
that
Jose.
was the worst
man.
one.
And especially seeing an OG, a legend, a featherweight, legend at WEC, man. And then that happened. Your heart goes out.
The
for him.
consensus featherweight GOAT at the time.
Yep.
Like, it's
unquestionably.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Let's get into Danny Gay's future. He called out Chan Sung Jung. He wants that Korean zombie fight. He's been calling out Chan Sung Jung for a very long time now. It's been over a year. Is that the fight to make? I think so.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I
Korean
like it.
Zombie just lost anyway. I mean, it works, and Korean Zombie's up there, dude. I really like that matchup. I think that was a perfect stylistic matchup for Danny again. I think it was the perfect shout out.
Yeah.
Or not shout out, but call out, right?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, who was Ige originally matched up with? Ryan Hall, I believe. And then that fight fell through. I'm pretty sure it was Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall was injured.
Don't take that fight again, Dan. I'm sorry, but don't.
No, don't take it. No.
No, don't take
You're on
that
to
fight.
bigger and better things.
Yeah, let's go up to Chan Sung Jung. Let's get in a striking battle. Let's not have our knee rearranged, my guy.
And here's the thing. Danny Ige now is sitting at number 9, and you have Chan Sung Jung coming off a loss at number 5. That matchup is perfect.
Perfect. Gets
It's
him right up there.
It's stylistically perfect. It can sell. I mean, honestly, I would be extremely excited for this fight on a fight night main event.
Yes.
I really would.
100%.
I'd be tuning into that. I make sure. I mean, we watch every week, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Church coin bets. I bladed out for my guy. I had a feeling.
Yeah, you did.
1,000 church coin on Ige, and it came back. I got plus 770 there.
On a minus 130. I put 400 on Ige at a minus 130 as well, and 308 church coin.
Hell yeah. Eric Anders. Well, there was a few fights. I'm going to skip them just because we didn't pick them. And to be honest, I was pretty busy this weekend. I didn't really watch them either. I mean, I did. I watched I saw Jonathan Martinez get knocked out. That was unfortunate for the guy and stuff like that. But we'll just move on. Let's go on to Eric Anders and Darren Stewart, dude. This was a fucking great fight for as long as it lasted. Darren Stewart was hurting Eric Anders and beating him on the feet. And then Eric Anders somehow pulled a 180 out his ass and started beating the shit out of freaking the dentist, putting him up against the fence, getting some nice clinch domination, I would say, and takedowns. He was throwing some good exchanges in the clinch. I really liked what I was seeing. It was the knee, though, man. Once again, we get an illegal knee to the head of a grounded opponent. Fuck. That's all I could say when I see stuff like that. Because it's like, the guy didn't do it on purpose, but it's like he fucked up.
And it was in the last 30 seconds of that round, too, that first round.
And you could have made arguments that maybe the ref should have stepped in before that happened. Yeah. DC was like, this fight is over. This fight is over. This fight is over. And then the dentist started getting back up. Man, he was in it. So maybe it was a good job by the ref.
Maybe.
It's weird, dudes, because there's how many fights you see where you go, okay, that ref would have stopped that if it was someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's letting him die tonight. Oh, that was an early stoppage.
Yep.
It's weird.
It's so back and forth.
Yeah.
It's really a flip of a coin. And how crazy is this? In 2 cards, we have seen 3 either disqualifications or no contests. Mm-hmm. Like, how often do we see no contests? Hardly ever. And then we got 2 on 1 card. It's just insane. It was kind of a crazy night.
Yeah, it was really crazy, really crazy. I picked. Who did I pick? I don't even think I picked that fight.
We didn't bet on that.
Oh, they must have moved it up. Fight. Yeah, we had to talk about it. It was no contest.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Angela Hill, Ashley Yoder.
Yep.
Whoo!
Yep. This one went exactly how I thought it was going to.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch it.
I did watch.
I knew Hill was gonna win. I was like, I saw the highlights, and I saw the biggest thing I saw really was the fight was when Hill had her up against the fence. She was just fucking her up, dude.
Yeah.
Just fucking her up against the fence, and that's what I really liked.
Angela Hill too, man. She's so freaking good.
She's good, dude.
She's
and
so good.
It's consistently
striking,
getting better.
Yeah, it is. It's consistently getting better. The question is, what is next? I heard the post-fight table as I was playing Rocket League. I could hear what they were talking about. They said they'd really like to see the rematch between Claudia Gadelha.
Yes.
Which, hey, that'd be a good rematch because you know what? Angela Hill won that fight.
Yes.
I was at your house for that fight, actually, as a matter of fact. And Angela Hill won that fight.
Yes.
I was so shocked when they called out Claudia Gadelha. It was a good fight. It was a close enough fight, but I clearly thought Angela Hill did enough to win that fight. So yeah, I'd really like to see that rematch. There's bad blood there. There'd be a lot of shit talking. I think it'd be a great matchup. What do you think?
I love it.
Claudia
You
Gadelha
said
at number 7.
You said it. I mean, I was going to say Michelle Watterson, but you know what, dude? I would way rather watch that rematch.
Yeah.
I would way rather watch that rematch.
Michelle Watterson is actually a rematch too.
Yeah.
It'd be a rematch because she fought her after.
And that was a bad weekend for me, but yeah, I remember that.
Right, yeah.
I paid 1,000 church win on Hill, came back with 270.
Nice. I put 1,000 on Chill as well. On Chill, I put 1,000 on Hill as well and won 270.
Sweet MMA news time, Mason. This is a rough one for me.
Yo, are you gonna be okay?
I'm gonna cry.
You're gonna cry?
I might cry. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Tear up, just a few tears.
Let me make sure the camera's on you so we can get that crying.
Guys, Matt Serra retired from his corner work.
Okay, so give me the lowdown of what is going on with Matt Serra, Aljamain Sterling, because I'm not really in the loop. I tried to listen to the podcast, but the way Matt Serra tells it,
He went on a 20-minute tirade about it.
Well, I know, but and I love Matt. I love him. I really do. But it's so hard to kind of follow him because he goes, you know, like we have a camp and we love each other, and that's kind of the thing is, but he's a guy and he's a fighter and he's a good fighter. So it's just like trying to cipher through what he's trying to say. I'm just like, okay, what happened?
And he's trying so hard, like, not to be disrespectful.
Right, and I understand that, but I'm a little confused. Can you?
I'll start from the beginning.
The waters
I'll start from the beginning. Remember the Fight Companion? We were like, "Where's Matt Serra?"
Yeah, I kept saying that, and everyone was like, "Oh,
I was like, that's him right there. Yeah, that's that bald guy right there."
I was like, "No, he's not in his corner. I don't see him."
Yeah, and it was weird because no one heard anything. It was just he just shows up and he's not there, and he didn't say anything on the podcast. He didn't say nothing, and we had no idea why. And then he comes out on his podcast and he goes, I love Aljo, I love my team, but I felt really disrespected when they didn't have me in that corner.
Yeah. And
he goes, and it's the reason why he goes, if you just came up to me and said, hey, so apparently Aljo's been doing a lot of work in Vegas, training with a new gym in Vegas a lot. And he really likes it out there. And he has those, and those were two of the guys he brought into the corner, were two Vegas guys. Oh. And,
so he's not working with Serra as much anymore.
Not as much as they were. He just started going to Vegas. This was his first fight camp where he's training in Vegas more than New Jersey, apparently. Right. And so the thing is Serra wasn't disrespected by the fact he wasn't in the corner. He was disrespected by the fact nobody told him. He was thinking he was about to fly out to Vegas, apparently.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was about to fly out to Vegas.
No one told him on the team?
No one on the team told him. It was Aljamain Sterling's manager called him 2 days before he flew to Vegas and went, hey, we're going with Vegas, guys.
What?
And then fucking Sarah's calling Ray Longo, calling Aljo, calling all these guys. No one's answering the phone. The entire team ghosted him.
Really?
The entire team ghosted Matt Serra. That's what he's saying.
Man, so that's interesting. I'd like to hear the other side on that. Mm-hmm. What happened?
I don't know.
What happened with this squad? Because, dude, I love these guys.
It was all love. It was all family.
Matt Serra, Ray Longo. I thought we were going to have a reality show one day.
And that was the thing is it hit Matt Serra. It blindsided him because he was not expecting that at all. He was literally training. He was preparing to fly out to Vegas. He was expecting to be in the corner and all this. And then it was Aljamain Sterling's manager that broke the news. And then essentially he was struggling to get a hold of anybody. He just was texting Aljo saying, hey, good luck. I just heard the news. I'm not in your corner. No biggie, dude. I hope you all the best. If you need any tips, you need any info, I'm only a phone call away, blah, blah, blah. Nothing back. Finally, Aljo did, apparently a few days before the fight, get back to Matt Serra and went, hey, training's been crazy. Sorry I haven't been this. I'll call you as soon as I can when I'm done with this training session. No call. Apparently they have talked. They have spoken beforehand. And, you know, if Matt Serra said, hey, dude, if you don't want me in your corner, fine. You know, I'll just never be in your corner. That's okay. So like, once you don't want me, you know, then I'm out. Because you need to want, like, you have to be 100% in on me for me to be 100% in on you. You know, and so that's what he said. And then the reason why he's retiring is because he goes, I thought we were a family. I love my team. I love everybody. I love Marab. I love fucking, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. Quinta, so disrespectful. I love all these guys. But he goes, nobody stood up for me. He goes, nobody was in my corner when I thought everyone should have been. He goes, you know, he goes, nobody went, hey man, maybe, you know, this guy that gave you your black belt, this guy that's been with you since literally your very first amateur fight, maybe you should talk to him yourself. Yeah. Something like that. So he was just, he felt so slighted and disrespected. He goes, dude, he's like, I just can't do it. It made the whole situation awkward between the entire team. He said.
And I get that. Because it's like, dude, if you've been a coach with this kid for whatever, 8 years, it doesn't matter, even 1 year, right? And like, if I'm not going to be in your corner, don't fucking A-list me. Don't be a celebrity-ass punk and then have your manager call me and then not answer my phone calls or anything. Yeah. If that's what happened, you know, again, like I don't know. So
this is just one side of the story.
There's one side of the story, so I'm not going to jump into it and choose sides.
And everything's cool now. He's saying we're all good. They're going to come train if they want to. My gym's still open to them. I'm still open to them. It's just I'm never going to corner again,
bro. It just It just sucks, man, because I love that team.
It's my favorite team in NFL. I almost said NFL. Yeah. It's my favorite team in MMA, dude. Yeah, without a doubt.
For sure. I mean, they're just funny. They're Ray Longo and Matt Serra, you know, they're always goofing around. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see bad blood with those guys. Yeah. Like, in that team and the unity that they had. It kind of sucks.
Matt was like, I don't want to deal with the awkwardness, dude. He goes, it was so awkward. I don't ever want to feel that way ever again. So he goes, if I have to just never fucking corner anybody ever again, he goes, so be it.
Yeah, I almost wonder, you know, with Aljo's move to Vegas, not working with Matt Serra as much, I wonder, you know, I'm not saying that, as Matt Serra's actually saying, I'm not saying that, like, it was bad that, you know, maybe moving forward he didn't want Matt Serra in his corner or whatever, but, bro, you got to be a man and at least have that conversation. I mean, it doesn't even have to be face-to-face. At least call him up and be like, hey, I love you. I care about you. You know, we've been on this journey for 10 years, whatever, however many years it is. I love you. You've been a coach. You've helped me get to this point. But I'm going with these guys for this
because of X, Y, and Z.
Right. Because of one, you're in New Jersey.
Yes.
We've been working on some stuff that maybe you're not caught up to speed with, and that, you know, these certain call outs or game strategy you might not be fully aware as my Vegas coaches. That you can respect.
Yes.
But to just essentially ghost the guy when he thinks he's flying out, when he's thinking he's going to go support Aljamain Sterling on the biggest fight of his career, fighting for the belt, you would assume that he would have kind of the respect to reach out to Matt and at least give him the lowdown. So I hearing that from you, I definitely understand where Matt Serra's coming from.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy because you could tell just listening to it talk, it really hurt him. It really did hurt the guy. Like, I mean, let's be real. Like, fighters are the most sensitive people on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's probably coaches
They're the toughest in the world, but they're also the most sensitive.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I really like Aljamain Sterling, but this situation right here, I lost a little bit of respect for him. I'm still a big fan of Aljo. I know they're all cool now and all that stuff, but it's like, man, you got, like, at times like this, you just got to man up, right? You just got to man up.
Yeah, you just got to do. Sometimes you just have to have tough conversations.
Absolutely. You know, if it's awkward, if it's tough, you just got to get it over with because avoiding these situations always make it worse. And that's exactly what this did. I mean, now Ali Quinta's never going to have Sarah in his corner again. Fucking Marab's never going to have Sarah in his corner again. It's like this whole situation fucked multiple guys over now. Yeah. And it's like the whole team is now. But
at the same time, too, you know, if you got these teammates who are even ghosting Matt Serra, it's like, why are you guys all ghosting him? Like, why is everyone ghosting him? Why is no one talking to Matt? Like, what did he do? And if he did something wrong, if there was something going on, I mean, at least let us know. But I don't know. The whole situation's a little crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And not in a million years. You could have told me
any other camp was going to break up.
Yeah, Greg Jackson or something broke up. I'm like, okay, well, fuck. They got some drama every other week.
Yeah.
But, I mean, these guys, the Ray Longo, Matt Serra combo, I would have never thought in a million years that there would be any sort of, like, division.
Yeah.
So it's really disheartening to see.
It blindsided, I feel like, the entire community, right?
Yeah, man.
It's like no one was expecting that. Everyone's like, this is the tightest, most close team you could get in the fucking community, and now they're broken up. So
that sucks.
It does suck. It really does suck.
Man.
Let's move on to some other news. Megan Anderson was on Twitch live streaming, gaming it up on some Call of Duty, and she dropped it. The featherweight division is apparently toast to her. I don't know what she's been told or who she's talked to.
I told you that shit was toast right after that Amanda Nunes fight. I called it, man. I was like,
there's no one else, right?
There's no one else.
I mean, so Felicia Spencer's fighting some girl that's had one fight in her entire career.
Okay, hold on. I know we're talking about Megan Anderson, but I got to talk about Juliana Pena. This is news. Did you hear that interview with Ariel Helwani?
Calling her fat, calling her lazy, saying, if you want to stay at 145 and be fat, be my guest then. Let's the 135.
Calling her, she didn't say coward, but she said something cowering up in the corner, getting your ass beat. I was like, damn, girl, you sure are selling this fight. I wasn't interested in this fight, but now I'm a little interested. She's talking all that shit. I mean, and hey. We all fucking know Amanda's going to win that fight, right? Like,
let's be real.
Like, come on, Amanda Nunes is going to win the fight. We all know it. But at least Juliana Pena is trying to sell it.
I love it. I love what I'm hearing, right?
Well, yeah, when you have such a dominant champion who's just ran through everyone, you like to see a contender at least put on the act like they think they're going to be able to beat this person. So it's actually nice to see, man. Yeah. It's really nice to see. The only problem with Juliana Pena is she was talking a lot about how she will go 5 rounds with Amanda. She will make it. So if Amanda goes out there and finishes her in the first round, that's not a good look. You're never going to live that one down, you know. But hey, she's rolling the dice. I love it. I appreciate it.
And she's making points, dude. She is the only contender to not fight Amanda.
Yeah.
The only one. And she's got a point. She's the best wrestler in that entire division. Yeah. I agree with her. She is. So you know what? Maybe she can have a little bit of success. I mean, the chances of it, I would say, are slim. Like, no offense.
Well, and she arguably probably beat the best wrestler in that division against McMahon. So,
yes, absolutely.
Hey, she does have a point.
Yeah.
Like, she is making a point here. You know, again, you know, we pull up that fight. I'm putting everything on Amanda Nunes.
Yeah,
but again,
3,000.
She does make a point for next contender at 135. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But as far as Megan Anderson, yeah. I mean, I could have told you that. I did tell you that, actually, on the Fight Companion. I was literally like, all right, there goes the featherweight division. There's no one else for Amanda. They literally have like 6 girls in this division. It's going bye-bye eventually. I think they'll probably let Amanda parade the belt around for another year or two. But then after that, the division's toast, man.
Well, I don't understand. Like, if you're going to build this division, build the fucking division. Let's start signing girls. Let's do Ultimate Fighter seasons with featherweights, with real featherweights that aren't just going to move down to 135 the second the season's over.
Yep.
So, like, let's build this division. I see no reason to get rid of it. I see, let's keep this division. Let's fucking crank out title defenses with Amanda. Let's put her down as solidified the greatest women's fighter ever, period. The greatest fighter ever, period. You're going to have to start making that conversation here pretty soon after she fucking racks up the 10 title defenses in 2 different divisions.
Yeah.
I mean, you're eventually going to have to go, yeah, she was the greatest fighter ever, period.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, unquestionably. Amanda Nunes could very well be pound for pound, regardless of gender, on the face of the planet. Yeah. Just the way that she just dominates and
smokes
just
everybody.
Runs through people. It's actually terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
it really
terrifying.
is. I wouldn't want to be a female fighter.
No. Bro.
No.
Yeah. I mean, we joke around about it all the time.
I'd rather go 5 rounds with Brian Ortega or someone that's just going to fucking snap my knee in half.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to. Yes, ma'am. I love you, Amanda. Please don't kill me. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, she'll rip your arm off and then knock you out.
I would love to just take a fan photo with her, but I'd also be terrified because I could realize this lady could actually kill me in under 2 seconds. So it's exhilarating, it's exciting, but also terrifying. Yeah.
100% agree. Let's move on to some other news. So, like we said last week, Dan Hardy or was this last week or a week before? I don't know. Dan Hardy got fired by the UFC. We didn't really know. I mean, there was tweets saying that there was an altercation between a female employee, and then he came out and said, that's a super misleading headline, bjpen.com.
Well, it was misleading.
Yeah,
in all fairness, because the first thing I thought of was, sexual harassment when I saw that headline, and then I looked into it, and I was like, oh, okay. That's
well, in the Me Too world, that's all you think of.
Right, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
So, but apparently it was Herb Dean's wife. She came out on Twitter and said, super misleading because you're a fucking liar. You called me a bitch. You talked shit about my husband in front of my face. And then when I confronted you about it, you said, shut the fuck up, bitch, and do my makeup.
What?
That's what she said. on Twitter. Essentially,
well,
I mean
if
that's not word for word the tweet. Maybe I should pull it up, but
HR will have a doozy with that one. If all that is true, I see why you got fired. You can't do that, especially to someone's wife that you work with, and then you're like talking bad about.
Well, she was an employee. She's a UFC employee.
A UFC employee.
Yeah, so she is the makeup artist for the commentators, apparently. So I mean,
that's why he said, "Shut the fuck up and do my makeup."
Shut the fuck up and do my makeup.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, for one, you don't talk to your coworkers like that, So I get it. Yeah, I get why he was let go.
Oh yeah.
If that is true, man, I get why he was let go.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You just can't. You can't do it.
Yeah, I guess I feel bad still, just because I mean.
Oh, Dan Hardy's great.
He's a great guy. I like the guy, but I mean, if you can't be fucking talking shit to another employee's wife and another employee, period. So I understand if they didn't do something, it probably would have been a bigger situation.
Right. And the thing is, with Dan Hardy, if he wants to go on a podcast or a show and voice his frustrations about Herb Dean and his reffing, he has every right to do that, right? But under this circumstance where you're talking to the wife, you're talking shit about her husband, and then telling her to shut the fuck up and do my makeup, okay, you crossed a few lines there. I mean, you got to be able to compose yourself in those situations, if it is true. Allegedly, I don't know. But that was her side, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get any official story. It's not.
No, of course not. No.
Yeah, so,
but he did get
said,
fired, so something happened.
Absolutely. Let's move on. Dana went on hotboxing. Did you watch that
watched that episode. Yeah, it was only like 24 minutes, but it was good. I liked it. It was fun. One of the most sad things I think for me is when Mike Tyson let go of his co-host,
that tall, really tall guy,
something with Elin or something like that. But anyway, that guy was awesome.
Yeah.
And then they fired him. I guess he wasn't good enough, or the show got too big. And then they brought in like an actor for a couple episodes, and I quit tuning in. I was like, I'm good. Like, if you're just gonna fire this guy because you don't want to pay him more.
Well, that other guy he was talking to was another boxer, apparently, right? Do you know who that guy was?
No. I don't know who that. But I just meant when that guy got fired, the first co-host, they brought on an actor for a couple episodes, and I'm like, what is this guy doing here?
Yeah.
There's no chemistry between him and Tyson. And then they got rid of him. And now I think it's just Tyson bringing in random people to help co-host for a couple episodes or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Eben. That's his name.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. I should watch it more. I hear it's a great podcast. But Dana was on it, and he was talking some shit about Jake Paul. And, if fucking Tyson and this other guy are sitting there, man, he's got hands. I don't know, Dana. And Dana White goes, this kid is a fucking YouTube kid. I don't care what you guys are saying. This guy he's fighting, Askren, he goes, he's actually fought world-class strikers. He's taken world-class strikers' punches to the dome. He goes, you're not telling me this fucking YouTube kid is going out there and beating him. They're like, Dana, he's got hands. And he goes, I bet $1 million that Ben Askren wins.
Damn, that's crazy. What do you think the odds will be for this fight?
Oh, Jake Paul's going to be a fucking minus 300, I bet, dude.
Are you shitting me?
I'm putting money on Ben Askren.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I don't care what Ben is, even if he's a slight underdog, I'm putting money on Ben Askren.
Yeah. 100%.
That's fucking bonkers. It's
crazy.
Really? They're going to put Logan Paul or Jake Paul as the favorite.
That's what I would assume. I don't know. I haven't seen any betting lines. I'm sure there probably are some already out, but I would assume he's going to be a big favorite.
That would be wild.
Because everyone, there's not many people giving Ben Askren a fucking chance in this fight.
Which I don't get why.
I don't understand. Dude, if Robbie Lawler couldn't knock Ben out, which, credit to Robbie Lawler, he almost did. But if he ain't knocking fucking Ben Askren out, I really don't know if Jake Paul can. I mean, he can, and maybe. I bet on any night, anybody could probably knock anyone out.
Yeah.
But it's just, I just don't know. I think this is going to be so much more competitive than people think.
Yeah, it's a little bonkers, man. $1 million, though. You really think he's going to do that?
Oh,
or you think he was just talking a little shit?
He's definitely just talking shit. And then, of course, Jake Paul claps back and he goes, let's raise it to $2 million, Dana. He goes, let's do $2 million. I'll put $2 million up. You put $2 million up. Winner walks away with $4 million. Do it, Dana. Put your money where your mouth is, boy.
Does Jake Paul not look like the kind of guy that would be like, oh, yeah, let's bet this money, but if I lose, I'm not paying you.
Exactly. But I'll take your fucking money,
Dana.
Exactly.
No, fuck you, dude. I would never trust that guy to bet with.
No.
Not in a million years.
No.
Not with my money.
Just make the fucking Amanda Nunes fight already, okay? Especially if Ben gets smoked. If Ben gets smoked, make that Amanda Nunes fight.
Oh, dude.
Make it.
I'm not kidding. If Amanda Nunes could go in there with Jake Paul and just obliterate the man, I would pay $100 for that pay-per-view, and I would feel so great doing it.
Yeah.
And I would be cheering on Amanda. I'd be wearing her Lions shirt. I'd be making signs for her. I would, campaign for her if she wanted to run for president.
Absolutely.
I would do so many things if she went out there and knocked out Jake Paul. That'd be the best.
I'd be your personal servant. I'm like, I'll be your slave. Just, you know what?
Actually,
just
you know what?
please knock
I'm
this
actually
kid
just
out.
going to literally just sign my life over to you because I love you that much. So,
yeah, that's funny. Let's move on to our last bit of MMA news. This will be real quick. I don't know the guy all that well, but apparently he was a legendary boxer, just completely ahead of his time. Marvin Hagler.
Can I give you a little background?
Yeah.
All right. So this is going to be about a paragraph, but it's really interesting because I actually didn't. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I knew who he was either.
I knew the name.
Yeah, I knew the name, but I didn't know like any attributes about him or anything. But Marvelous Marvin Hagler was an American professional boxer and film actor who competed in boxing from 1973 to 1987. He reigned as undisputed middleweight champion from 1980 to 1987, making 12 successful defenses of that title, and holds the highest knockout percentage of all undisputed middleweight champions at 78%, while also holding the third longest unified championship reign in boxing history at 12 consecutive defenses.
Wow.
At 6 years and 7 months, his reign as undisputed middleweight champion is the second longest of the last century, behind only Tony Zale, whose reign included several years of inactivity during his service in World War II. In 1982,
That's crazy.
annoyed that network announcers often did not refer to him by his nickname Marvelous, Hagler legally changed his name to Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Probably just because they're racist and they're like, fucking ain't nothing marvelous about this guy.
But dude, what a boxer.
Yeah.
12 consecutive
crazy,
title defenses?
That's crazy. Like, those stats, like, those are legendary stats. Like, no one ever talked about this guy as being the GOAT, but you tell me, you rattle off some stats like that, I'm like, geez, man, he's
for
up there.
Yeah, as a middleweight especially. How is this guy not the GOAT middleweight? I mean, 12 consecutive defenses.
Maybe he is. Maybe he is. And we just don't know.
Because we just don't know that much about boxing, in all fairness, folks. But what a career this man, what a legacy Marvin Hagler left behind. And I'd like to see a film on him someday. It's so sad, too, because he died at a very young age of only 66.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's sad, man.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't, like, what was it? That's a good question. I mean, was it complications from maybe damage throughout the past?
I wonder. I do wonder, man.
Yeah. You never know nowadays. And cancer is so prevalent, and you could just pretty much wrap down 90% of deaths, I feel like.
Oh my goodness. Cancer. This is how he died. On March 13, 2021, Hagler's wife, Kay, announced that Hagler had died unexpectedly from complications from the coronavirus vaccine at his home in New Hampshire. He was 66.
He wasn't the first. He's not the first elderly, famous athlete to die from complications with the vaccine. Wow. He is not the first. There was a famous MLB all-star. He was like an 87-year-old legend of the MLB, and he died after the second Moderna vaccine.
Yeah, it's that second vaccine that gets a lot of people.
That's the one that's killing people.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not hearing stories of like 20-year-old people dying from this vaccine. I'm only hearing stories of people that, probably if they would have had complications with the virus in the first place.
Yeah. And again, I don't want to get banned for talking about coronavirus, but I've heard from people who have gotten the second dose who are our age that the second dose knocks them on their ass for a day.
Oh yeah. My parents.
I didn't feel good and I had to sit at home. I couldn't go to work. And I'm like, damn, dude. And that's the crazy thing to me is like, as a vaccine, like, I don't know.
It's like the flu shot. People take people that take the flu shot every year, you ask them, hey, what's it like taking it? And they're like, dude, it floors you.
Yeah.
It floors you for a day or two. Like legit.
I'm good. I'm good on that.
So my parents took the Moderna and they had the second injection, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, they're fine. We're having no problems. But the thing that worries me, and I don't really talk to them about this, and I don't really want to talk about it here, but the thing that worries me, it's what are we going to find out in 10 years?
Okay, so the long-term effects, yeah.
That's
and
the scary part.
I think that's a reasonable question to ask, and which is another reason why I think at my age with my health, I'm just going to pass on it.
Yeah, that's sad. I had no idea, dude. No one was saying nothing about that. That's sad. That's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Took a turn for the getting banned on YouTube. So let's move on to our preview show.
Absolutely.
All right. Whew. I'm jacked, dude. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm fucking jacked. Derek Brunson, Kevin Holland, my fucking guy, Kevin Holland, finally getting a top 5 matchup. Right? Is he top 5?
I think he's top 7.
Let's look it up. Derek Brunson, 7. Okay, that's good enough. A win over Derek Brunson is that's a big fucking win, dude. If Kevin Holland can get it done, that is going to catapult the man into a top 5 matchup.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. But the thing is Derek Brunson is no fucking slouch.
No, he is not.
When he smoked Shabazian?
Yeah.
Smoked Shabazian when everyone thought it was going to be the other way around?
Was one of the biggest surprises of 2020.
Absolutely.
Unquestionably as a fight, because I remember being like, yeah, Shabazian all day. This guy is a savage. He's a beast. And what Derek Brunson did to him literally left my jaw dropped.
Yes. Smoked him.
I was like, wow. All right, Derek Brunson.
I can't wait, dude. This is a fight to watch, guys. Like, I know, like, let's look at the card. I mean, is it the most stacked fight night we've ever seen? No, but I'd say it's a pretty good one, you know? I'd say it's a pretty good one. It's the main event that we all want. Right, that's the fight we're all really waiting for, and that's the fight we're starting with. So let's break this fight down a little bit. Kevin Holland's coming in at a -170 to a +145, Derek Brunson.
Yep.
That's pretty much a pick 'em in my opinion.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit higher than a pick 'em.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's almost double on the 170 side. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's essentially a pick 'em fight here. But you know, Derek Brunson has strung together 3 wins over the course of 2019 and 2020. But we got to remember, Kevin Holland won 5 fights.
Yeah, and last year.
In a year. So are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah,
are you
crazy.
kidding me?
Fighter of the year.
Yeah, first fighter of the year for sure.
And you know he's pissed that he had to wait 3 fucking months to get a first fight in.
Yeah.
He's pissed. He ain't happy.
Oh, absolutely.
He ain't happy. He wanted to fight December. He wanted to fight January. He wanted to fight.
Well, he did. He got that December, and he literally bent Jacare back and just that knockout's so wild, dude. It's like straight out of a movie. It really is. It's straight out of a movie.
Yeah. Is this fight going down to the ground? I mean, you know Derek Brunson. I mean, yeah, the man can strike. But you know his game plan is probably to go in there and take Kevin Holland down to the ground. But are you going to want to take down a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt that was welcoming a Jacare to come down with him?
Yeah. And do you want a guy who's also knocked someone out from hammer fist from the bottom?
Yeah, right.
Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. No, I'm good. I don't want to go on the ground with someone like that.
This is a rough matchup for Derek Brunson, dude. And I feel like he should be the favorite coming into this, but he's not.
Well, it's also a tough matchup for Kevin Holland, too. Yeah. I mean, Derek Brunson has tremendous power and power that Kevin Holland has not matched up against, not to the same level as Derek Brunson. I mean, we've talked about it for years with this guy, the way that he can literally put you to sleep with one shot.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is a new test for Kevin Holland. We'll see how he overcomes it, but with how well he looked against Jacare Souza, this should be a very close fight, and this might get fight of the night next week.
Oh, yes. Yes, if this goes 5 rounds, this could be a fucking barn burner.
Yeah, for sure.
This really can. I mean, it could be very competitive, or it could be a quick knockout of either guy. They both have knockout power. They're both incredibly well-rounded, I would say. You know, very good on the ground, both of them. I would give Derek Brunson the wrestling advantage. I would give Kevin Holland the jiu-jitsu advantage. It's a great matchup, dude. It really is.
It is a great matchup. I would say one of the only things that concerns me with Kevin Holland here is in those 5 fights, he had a 1 fight go decision. Okay?
The dentist.
And that was a dentist. You're right, Darren Stewart. But so I'm looking at that and I'm going, man, 5 rounds.
It's going to be hard.
Derek Brunson has had main event fights. He has gone 5 rounds. He knows what it feels like. Kevin Holland has not been taken into those murky waters yet. So if this hits 4 and 5, I kind of like Derek Brunson on that on the latter half there. But Kevin Holland, man, he is dangerous early. Both these guys are dangerous early. It's going to be really interesting. This, for me, how you brought up earlier, you said it was a pick'em fight. For me, it's essentially a pick'em.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how this one's going to go down.
Yeah.
And there's bad blood between these two, which makes this fight all the more exciting.
Did you listen to the Kevin Holland Joe Rogan?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good. I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but it's a pretty good one.
Again,
I love Kevin.
It's one of those things that I can't download Spotify. Yeah. It takes forever, so I just don't listen to Joe anymore. Yeah, it sucks.
It's rough. It's rough since Spotify deal. I love Kevin, dude. I'm just gonna have to roll with my guy. I mean, he's easily becoming my favorite fighter. Like, easily. Like it's just this guy just shows up.
Oh yeah, he won our fighter of the year, man.
Yeah, he's coming up, dude. Like I really am a big fan of him. I've been watching him since essentially the Contender Series. I watched him get that win in the Contender Series. He didn't get signed. Dana called him loudmouth, called him a fucking shit talker.
Yep.
Why didn't he go for the finish? Blah 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 blah. Was pissed off. Then he goes, gets his ass kicked by Santos, and still talks shit the entire time.
Insane.
At 205.
Yep.
And then just impressed me from then. And I've just been the biggest fan since. I got to go with Kevin. I guess if I got to make a pick of how he's going to get it done, I think it's by knockout, dude.
Okay.
I don't see him submitting him. I don't see him really even going down to the ground. I see his takedown defense being good enough to keep Brunson on the feet, and then it's probably going to be a war. And I can't fucking wait for that. I am going Kevin Holland. I'm going to say 3rd round KO. Church coin bet. I'm going to put 500 church coin on Holland. I want to put more. I really do, but you never know in this crazy sport.
You never know, especially with a guy like Derek Brunson on the other side of that cage. For me, this is kind of a fun fight for me. This is a pick'em fight. You know where I stand with Kevin Holland. He was my fighter of the year along with you, and he is definitely one of our favorite fighters. This is purely a strategic bet because, again, you're betting for Kevin Holland. I'm not going to put 500 and match that because it doesn't go anywhere. I like the value at a Derek Brunson being a plus 145 here. I really like that. I think this is a very much a pick'em fight. Could go either way. And I like Derek Brunson in rounds 4 and 5. I got to be honest. He's been there before. He knows what to expect in a main event fight. This is new territory for Kevin Holland. And the excitement might get him with his bad blood. He might blow his gas tank. Interesting matchup. I'm going Derek Brunson here. I'm putting 200 church coin on Derek Brunson for the win.
Sweet. Let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. Gregor Gillespie is finally making his comeback. He is a minus 180 favorite to Brad Riddell, the Aussie himself, at a plus 155.
Yes.
So another city kickboxing guy out of Auckland, New Zealand. So Brad Riddell, as since moving up to 155, he's really impressed me. I remember seeing his first fight at 145, and I was like, how the fuck did this guy make 145? It just looked like he completely killed himself, barely won the fight, and it was a very impressive fight. Moved up to 155 and started flatlining guys.
Yeah.
So good for him. Again, he's thick. He's a thick boy at 155, but so is Gregor, dude. We got to talk about Gillespie's wrestling. NCAA, like 4-time fucking national champ or something like that. Like the craziest stats ever. Like the man like went undefeated for like years in college wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant MMA. I was like, no, yeah, he went undefeated.
No,
until he got that Kevin Lee head kick, which put him on another fucking planet.
Well, dude, you can't. Like, what the fuck? You're a wrestler, and you're just going to come out and get in a kickboxing match with Kevin Lee.
That fight was a little wild. I could not believe that. I was at the beach for that one, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, that KO was amazing.
And he just slumps to the fence, and I'm like, oh, God, pray for
Remember Megan's Levy's reaction to that? Because the dude dropped right in front of her. She's like, yeah.
And
awesome.
But hey, he bounced back against Yancy Medeiros with that second round KO.
Oh, he fought since?
Yeah.
He fought since? Oh, okay. I thought this was his first fight back.
No, but that was all the way back in January 19th of 2019. So that's his last fight. Really? Oh, no. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm getting him backwards. Kevin Lee was his last fight. Excuse me.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because it feels like he's been off forever.
He fought Yancy first and then fought Kevin Lee.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I like Gregor Gillespie, dude. I thought he was going to be the fucking truth in this division. And then Kevin Lee happened, and he took that year off. He's just been fishing, hanging out in the woods. He's our freaking country boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a country boy at heart. He just wants to hang out and fish. That's all he talks about is fishing. That's what he loves. He double eggs dudes and fishes. That's it. Picks. I'm going to go Gregor Gillespie, dude. I think the wrestling is going to be too much. I really like Brad Riddell if it stays on the feet. Brad Riddell is a fucking savage striker, and he's got pretty good jiu-jitsu as well. And City Kickboxing, their name is City Kickboxing, but they talk about defensive wrestling the most. That's all they ever do, they say. So you never know. This could be a bad matchup for Gregor, but I have to wait and see how this goes down. I have faith in Gregor Gillespie's wrestling. It's just too elite. It's just too good. I'm going to go another 500 church coin on Gillespie.
Okay. I like Gregor Gillespie here too at a minus 180 favorite. So I will be laying down 180 church coin on Gillespie for the win as well.
Alrighty. Tai Tuivasa versus Dantel Mays. So I know Tai Tuivasa. Everyone knows the man. Everyone loves the shoeies and the craziness. And he's essentially a meme online. And he's fucking just a wild man. A wild man inside the cage and out. But this Dantel Mays guy, I just don't know this guy all too much. I'm gonna pull up his record real quick to see what happened.
He only has a handful of fights. He lost his first fight to Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira. He was submitted in the second round of that one. His opener, that was back in May 16, 2020. After that, he fought November 14th and won in a decision against Roque Martinez. He's had 2 fights.
He's also lost against Cyril Gane. So,
that's right. Yes, that was when 2019.
That was in 2019. Yeah. So right. And he got submitted too. I mean, he's got 3 fights in the UFC and 1 Contender Series fights, and essentially he's 1-2. And this might be the perfect matchup because Tai Tuivasa has not been finding success inside the octagon as of late. I mean, he was undefeated not too long ago.
And 2, you're not going to worry about Tai Tuivasa submitting you. So.
No, the man's just
the guy just wants to stand up and bang. So.
Absolutely. Yep. He's going to go in there and, he's either putting you to sleep or he's getting knocked out himself.
Yep.
That's just the way he is. He's just not going to do anything else. So he is coming off a victory. Okay. So he lost 3 in a row. Came off, beat Stefan Struve by a first round knockout at UFC 254, Habib Gaethje. So that wasn't too long ago. So I guess Tuivasa. I just don't know this Dantel Mays guy good enough. If he takes Tai down and just smashes the guy, I don't see Tai Tuivasa having the ground game to get up off his back. Unfortunately, I just haven't seen it from him. Maybe he does. I'm sure he's been working on his jiu-jitsu, but I just don't know. So I'm only going to put 100 church coin on this fight just because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going 100 church coin on Tai Tuivasa. I wouldn't be shocked if he lost, but I'll just go with him.
I'm going to go, I like Dantel Mays here. He is 6'6". His nickname is Kong. Yeah, well, I mean, when you're that big, dude, holy crap. Right? Dude. So, I like Mays here at a plus 200. I'm putting 400 church coin on Mays for the win.
Yeah, plus 200. That's great odds. It really is. Adrian Yanez versus Gustavo Lopez. So these are both fairly new up-and-coming guys that are getting the rub from the main card. Usually you see fights like this where unknown guys, usually they're on the prelims, early prelims, but they're getting a rub. So that tells me they're probably bangers.
Yep.
And it's probably going to be an exciting fight.
Absolutely. And I do know Adrian Yanez is a Dana White Contender Series guy from the 2020 series. He beat Brady Hang and then went at a UFC Fight Night 181, Hall versus Silva, and got the victory against Victor Rodriguez with that head kick.
All right, so I'm just going to put 100 church coin on this fight again, just because they're both unknown guys, in my opinion. I just don't know. I don't have enough information to go off, so I'm just going to do a minimum bet on Yanez.
All righty. I like Gustavo Lopez here, and I'll tell you why. There's one name on here where he went decision with when this guy is a Energizer Bunny. I call him that all the time, Merab. He went the distance with Merab just last year in June. And got a win against Anthony Burchak, submission rear naked choke, which tells me he's pretty versatile. Again, don't know too much on this guy, but he's got 5 KO wins, 6 submission wins, and 1 decision. So that tells me this guy is definitely a finisher.
Yeah.
Yep. That was the one thing. And he's a local fighter, Wapato, Washington, United States. So I'm going to pick Gustavo here for the win.
What's the odds, real quick? Do you have that?
The odds for this fight are... I don't have them right in front of
whatever, who cares? But yeah, if it's a local guy, that's fucking sweet. I might actually change my pick. Why not? But we'll keep it different. I'll stay with Yanez. Let me check the odds, because if they are crazy odds, you might want to.
Where's it? Gustavo. Oh, okay. Gustavo Lopez, plus 170. Adrian Yanez is a minus 200.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely changing my pick then. We'll go 100 on Lopez just because, I'm not putting 100 on just that guy. That's not happening. So let's move on to the last fight on the main card. Son Kenan, a Chinese fighter at a plus 135 against the American Max Griffin at a minus 160. He's bringing it for America. He's doing it for America. Max Griffin, I'm taking him. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually going to roll with Kenan, dude. This guy has just really impressed me in his last fight. He got that big KO. I'm just very excited for him. I'm very hyped on him. And, dude, there's something about these Chinese fighters, dude. I mean, I don't know what they're feeding them in China, but these guys are fucking savages.
Steroids.
Probably. Just the Russians, they're like just working with them hand in hand. But, yeah, you never know. These doping organizations and these commie countries. But
knows?
yeah, Song Kanan's a fucking savage, dude. He's only had one loss in the UFC so far. So, I mean, he's coming in with some heat, and he's coming off a KO victory. Like I said, this is going to be a barn burner because Max Griffin's no slouch. He wants to go in there. He wants to throw. He's willing to get into wars with guys, and he beat some very, very, very tough competition in the past. So I wouldn't be shocked if he came out and got it done against the Chinese guy. But I'm rolling with... I'm sorry. I'm sorry, America, but I'm going with China. I'm going with Kenan on this. I'm going to put, how much did I say? 300 church coin on Kenan. God, I'm probably
Okay, so for
that.
the record, because I didn't say it, Lopez, I did pick Lopez for that fight, 200 church coin.
Oh, okay.
What I'm going to put on him. So you picked 300 church coin on Kenyan.
Yeah.
I like Kenan here too. I said Kenyan, I don't know why.
I don't know. We're probably not even saying it right.
No, I think it's Kenan. I think Song Kenan. That
Song
sounds
Kenan?
right.
Yeah, it does sound right.
But nonetheless, you know, for UFC debut, gets a knockout in the first round. I like him too. I'm going to put 200 church coin on Kenan for the win.
We did it, Mason.
Shout outs.
Another one. Yeah, shout outs. We did, I mean, an hour every time, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yep.
it's just
about an
fucking
hour.
professionals.
It's just what we do.
Professionals. Shout out. Every week, my shout out goes to a YouTube commenter, guys. So regardless of you're talking shit, you're trying to be funny, you're just giving your opinion on the latest MMA news, just go leave a comment on any of our videos, whether it's a video 6 months ago, it's a video yesterday, it's a full numbered episode, or it's just a clip. Leave a comment. If it makes me smile, it makes me laugh, it makes me cringe, I'm probably going to read it on the show. So make sure you comment below. Okay, this week's comment is Adnan. Adnan. These names are killing me. It was unfortunate what happened. Even though I was going for Yan, I understand why Sterling got the belt and he deserved it. That was a hard, illegal knee, and there's no way anyone should disrespect him for something he had no part in. It was an exciting fight, and I had Yan winning the rematch. Should be even more interesting. Can't wait for the rematch, but I still got my boy Yan winning in the rematch.
Okay.
I think I read that wrong. Somewhere I fucked that up, but I'm
That's
not going
okay.
to read it.
That's okay.
I agree with you, dude. I agree with you. I mean, the rematch I think will be way more interesting, but, you know, from what I saw, unless Aljamain Sterling, you know, I should have said this last week, Cejudo came out and said, you know, Aljo, you can't fight that fight against Yan. There's just, you can't do it. He said he came in and pretty much fought the exact same fight that he fought Pedro Munoz in. And he goes, dude, that was a 3-round fight. Now we're talking 5 rounds.
Yeah.
You just can't put that pace on for 5 rounds straight. He's like, there's nobody in the world can do that. It's just too tough. So he says, if you just paced yourself better, he said that he thinks Aljamain Sterling will find way more success in the rematch, and he would actually take Aljamain Sterling in that rematch. So we'll see. I mean, there's so much time to game plan for this fight. This fight probably won't be made for 6 months. I'm very excited for it, though.
Nice. All right, my shout out this week goes to my brother. He had a tragedy happen this weekend. His little puppy, who he loved to death, passed away.
No, the one your Coda's puppy.
No, it would have been Obi-Wan's puppy, Kenobi's puppy.
Oh, so this is his older dog, his brown lab.
Yeah, it was Logan's puppy.
Oh, Logan.
Kenobi was the father. Okay. But his puppy passed away of parvo. And he was devastated. So Logan, I love you, bud. Stay strong.
How did that happen?
It's tough.
I've heard of parvo. I just don't know what it is. Really.
It was just fast. It just hit like within 2 days. I don't want to get into the details on the podcast, but I'll tell you off air what happened. But it was so fast, and then it was kind of like boom.
Damn,
like,
that sucks.
Oh my gosh, like what? I just don't want to go into the gross details of.
Yeah, you don't have to
because it's pretty traumatic. But my shout outs to Logan. I love you, buddy, and yeah.
What was his
I
dog's
just felt
name?
like I need DK.
DK.
I like DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah,
I like that.
DK Metcalf. So
yeah. R.I.P. DK.
Yeah, no kidding. R.I.P. man.
Yeah.
All righty, let's wrap this show up.
Yep. Another one, Mason.
Another one.
Guys, social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Gab at the Church of MMA. If you aren't following us already, make sure you go and do it. We're posting funny memes. We're trying to make you laugh. Hit us up.
Check out our YouTube channel too, guys. We're dropping videos, clips, episodes of the show, fight companions, a lot coming in the works as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers. So please be sure to go and do that. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tabor Cragen. And until next time,
peace.